Hi, everybody. Welcome. Beau has a channel. Shocker. It's been here for a couple years. We haven't used it in a while, and I thought, what better time than to bring on our friend and have what I kind of have always casually called a little jam session. I was fortunate enough to meet with our guest today. I was invited to her Dallas stop for her brand new series release, Starlight Grove, Book One, and I had so much fun. I do a ton of events here locally in the DFW, and I'm constantly having people come up and tell me how much fun they had, and if she's going to come back, and I'm like, I hope so. And so she didn't go on tour for Book Two, which just released, and I asked if she would want to just like hang out and chat about it because I just finished, and of course, I loved it. And she couldn't be any sweeter and said yes. So we have New York Times bestselling author Catherine Cowles. She writes the kind of stories that wreck you just a little and bring you back together and then leave you dreaming of epic love stories for days. When she's not bringing characters and small towns to life, you'll find her exploring Oregon, sipping Diet Coke, and binging true crime podcasts or searching for her next book boyfriend. She's a friend. She's a friend of the show. We're obsessed with her. Without further ado, Catherine Cowles. I hope you guys enjoy. Catherine, hello. Thank you so
Hello.
much for joining me. Didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb. It's fine.
Oh
Everything
my
is
gosh.
fine.
We're real over here.
It
I've
is,
got little baby Roe right here keeping us company. So
and I
apologies
have
in advance for
Pepper
the chaos.
prancing around. She's here. She was back here. I was like, child, please go lay
I
down.
really hope she jumps up and comes across the screen. That's what I'm hoping for.
Be careful what you wish for, Catherine. She's coming.
I
Okay,
love
so
it.
welcome. First of all, I have to give you your flowers.
Oh,
Congratulations. How
thanks.
exciting. I've also been trying to figure out, I was talking to Tina about this, but like I'm so invested, like as a small business owner, the business side of this, but then I don't want to take the magic away from readers either. But like, congratulations. How exciting.
Thank
How
you.
nerve-wracking is it for like a brand new series going into book two? Like you assume book one's gonna do well, and then book two, you're just kind of like you hope it has that same kind of momentum. But number one in the Kindle store, is
Yeah.
that the first time?
Wild. No, it was not the
Okay.
first time, but it's been a while. Like
Yeah.
for people who aren't like paying attention
Mhm.
to the Kindle Top 100 every single day, the algorithm has changed
Mhm.
drastically in the last 6 months. And
Mhm.
so I'm going to be 100% honest and say that I thought that those days of that happening to me were behind me, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Like there's so many other things to be grateful for. So it was it was pretty wild.
Especially when there's so many
That happened.
insane books right now.
I know.
Like we're
Like
talking
there's just
about everything. Dungeon Crawler Carl, which I literally
I
can't escape.
know.
I read the whole series and I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like everywhere.
Stop, I love it.
Yeah, I've read the whole series. And what else was Tina was like we were like jamming out about it and just like freaking out. There was like
Oh my
something
gosh,
else.
all the
Elsie.
off-campus stuff.
Yeah, all the
Yep.
off
And
campus.
it's just been
Crazy.
it's so exciting. It's such an exciting time to be an author. And I think things are changing a lot, but
Mhm.
there's so many amazing things that we haven't had access to before that we're kind of getting access to, and that's always super fun.
And good for you because you really have to be innovative. On my side too, it's the same thing. It's like you get really comfortable and you feel like you finally get a groove. I always say business is about creating a system that works and then repeating the system. And those days do not exist anymore at all. Like there's so many things. So anyway,
Yep.
congratulations. So freaking
Thank you.
excited. Okay.
You're the best.
Yes, I'm so excited. So new series,
Hmm.
Obsessed.
Oh, thank you.
When what does that process look like for you? Like when you're starting it, like does it typically are you doing the whole thing at once? Do we already know like does the love come first? Does the do the crazy shenanigans come first? Like what is actually happening over here?
So when I started this series, I was really nervous. Like it was the first time like going into a series that I struggled a little bit, like just self-doubt.
Mhm.
And, I was coming off a series that people really loved, Sparrow Falls, which is wonderful. But then,
Good.
there's a downside to that too, of like, you're like, okay, well, I hope they like the next one. And so I was nervous and I really kind of put my all into that first book and worked really, really hard, especially in the
So
edit.
good.
Oh, thank
So good.
you.
And it's so crazy how seamless it is in book two. Like this is also very hard too for everyone watching. You just have to just read these books because I don't want to do any spoilers because I think that's what's so fun about this. I had
I
no
agree.
idea. I cursed you more than once on this second book because I did not guess it at all. And it's so funny, my guesses. I'll have to tell you like later who I was. It was just like
I can't wait. I love to see the notes app of who people write down.
I was not suspecting that at all, but I'm also so grateful, to be
Oh my
honest,
God.
for someone else. But
For the twists we took.
yes, yes, it all worked out in everybody's favor.
It
But
all
yeah,
worked out in the end.
so fun. So we do love it. And I think this is a really fun series to like get into. If you
Oh,
haven't really, like have been following you or don't know what to get into. Tina would say on the like would not say that because she absolutely hates waiting for books.
oh
I
my God, that's
I
hilarious.
really enjoy that. I love cliffhangers. It's unpopular opinion. I love waiting and getting excited. So this was just so
That's
good.
so
So,
funny.
so fun.
I think
So fun.
it's fun. This series in particular has felt very interactive with my readers. Like there's this really fun shared
Mm,
I don't know, this back and forth, like guessing the suspects and what's going to come next. Because there's like some twists and turns like around the romance too. Like it's
yes.
not just the suspense. And so I think, when people always ask me, like, where would I start? Right now, I'm telling them start with Across the Vanishing Sky, which is book one in this series, because I'm like, there's so many, like
Totally
you said,
agree.
like surprises and twists, and I don't want anybody to be spoiled for them if they can avoid it. So I'm like, start there, come along for the ride with us. It's really fun. I feel like the community around it has just been incredible. Like the things that people make for my books
Mm.
is wild. Like I'm like, how are people so talented?
Shameless plug, first of all. We'll get to that. Well, I wasn't even planning on bringing it up, but I love that. Love that for us.
Love it.
I worked with Catherine a couple times. Obsessed. You work with, and I honestly, shout out Catherine Cowles, obsessed with you. You are all about the small businesses. Like this is
Oh,
100%
thank
like
you.
putting your neck out for us like multiple times. It especially now, this is such a hard time. It really truly is.
It
And
is. I
to
think for all
be
small businesses.
dude for big businesses too, which is crazy. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like it is insane. And so you really putting your neck out and having fun. I love that. That's exactly what makes this so fun, I think, is
But you do the same thing, and that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna
mm,
make you mad at me real quick. But like, Benita has been a support to me from the very beginning and took chances on me that most people maybe wouldn't have. And she is just the kindest, most encouraging soul. And so it's nothing but a huge pleasure to get to collab with you anytime that I get to do it. I
obsessed.
just love you.
I feel so incredibly blessed that everyone that I've come across in this journey has been good people. And we talk about that all the time. It's just
I
like
know.
real good people. And so, so lucky. Thank you. You're so sweet to even say that. But I think that's what makes us so fun. And again, going back to like in a time where we're at, where community is everything right now. People are really looking for something to connect with, something just good and authentic. And this is just so fun. Find myself laughing out loud and then cursing you all in the same breath. Like it's crazy. And you know what's funny? I really don't love books with kids. I don't have children. I'm not around them often. And you did such a good job. I actually
Thank you.
adore Owen. The Bray is a single mom in the first book, and he's actually perfect. Skylar's perfect, and
Skylar's maybe my favorite character I've ever written.
it's
Like
so
she is
fun.
just so funny. Like
They're so
she is
fun.
this, I know, she's this like half commando, half princess, like take no prisoners. Like I loved writing a little girl who was raised by men basically.
Yes.
Like it's her dad and his brothers and
Like she
their,
can't fight her
great uncle.
instinct of like who she is, but also is embracing, like where she's fallen in her life and like going more into the story. You start to hear that and like no, and it's so sweet. So you've done such a good job. So I love this. That was my second question. So one of the things readers love most about your books is how seamlessly you blend romance and suspense. When
Oh,
you sit down, what comes first, which is kind of a little bit of my last question, is like, is it the romance first, or are you really
yeah.
kind of like plotting to upset
I
us?
always think about my books as like jigsaw puzzles, like when I'm
Mhm.
starting to look at the plot. It comes in bits and pieces and fits and starts. So it's like I could have an idea for something that happens in the backstory for a character, or maybe a scene pops into my head, like just this idea of this scene. Maybe it's the a piece of the suspense. It's never like a whole romance and a whole suspense plot line. Like they kind of
Build
come and they
off of each
inform each
other.
other.
Mm,
Yes.
love that.
Because for me, when my books are the best, the suspense is pushing the romance along. It's either, shoving the characters apart, it's drawing them together, it's making them confront things within themselves. All of those types of things I think are really fun for me to play with.
Are you ever surprised at where the story ends up at all? Like because it's not really super, and you're like building off of it?
So I do plot. So like I plot out my full book, but it has changed on me. Like I have
Mm,
changed the baddie before. Like I've been like a third of the way or maybe even a half of the way through a book and I'm like, I get a better idea and it changes. So that does happen sometimes. Or just like it takes me
pepper
putting
breath.
the characters through. Oh, stop.
She's a
I
little,
love her.
she's a little fatigued. She's like
He
starting
knows
to
that I just
chew.
was talking to an animal because he just popped his head up. Like, what's going on? What
Pepper,
is happening?
be good girl. Don't
Oh
outshine
my God.
Ro. It's Ro's moment right now.
She
Um,
is she gonna pull down the book bows?
no, she won't. She's like starting to, she's my little chewer, which is not a great thing because I can't leave anything around at all. And I'm always so anxious that she'll like chew
That
on
she's gonna get into
something.
something she should.
Yes, because that is what's
That was
scary.
him when he was a puppy. He chewed all like a hole in like the corner of my wall. Like I was
She's
like,
she's chewing on the thumbtack. Like, what are you doing, my child? Like, what are you
I
doing?
know.
But she plays ball and fetch. Like, she is,
Stop.
yes, she is insane. She'll
I
bring
want
it
to
to
do a cat
you.
that plays fetch in a book.
Yes, there you go. And she does, and she
Pepper.
drops it to you and like brings it back. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh my God, I love
You already have Pepper for a name. That is the goat's name. If
I
you
know
guys
that is
aren't
true.
following along, so I love that. I always feel so special. And she has the personality of a goat, so it's so fitting. It's
Oh
crazy.
my God, I love it.
Okay, sidetrack here. Um, what's your
Worth it.
favorite thing about starting a new series? Like, I know it feels anxious. You're like super anxious about,
Yeah, it
especially when you come
feels
off something so good.
it feels a little overwhelming, but it's also really fun because anything can happen. Like I can create any world I want to create. I can, set it any place I want to set it. I can, kind of and you're kind of setting the stage for me, it's like usually around like a year and a half to 2 years of my life to write the series. And
Mhm.
so I'm kind of setting that tone for myself.
Yeah.
And that is kind of fun to think about. You're like, okay, where do I want to hang out for that length of time, and who do I want to hang out with? And,
Yes, which
what
is so
are,
so fun.
yeah, it is so fun. And I really like, as you have probably figured out, like to have some funny characters mixed in because it's like I do cover some really heavy topics and I never want it to feel dark, so to speak. Like not that dark is bad in any way, but like I don't want it to feel heavy, I guess would be the better term. Like I don't want it to feel like I don't want somebody to finish one of my books and be like, oh my gosh, like I need like a nap and a Diet Coke and a long hug.
Yes. And
I do want to make them cry
something
a
safe to
little.
put on in the
Yeah,
background that just like makes you feel good. And that's what
exactly.
is so crazy about this because you are covering like some heavy topics, but you have to
Yeah,
make it feel a little real, but you also have to, and it does feel like that. Like we're kind of on this really fun, like it's like a Disney coaster. It's
I
like,
love exactly. Like
it,
you feel that like, but
yes,
it's safe, if that
yes,
makes sense.
yes.
Like
And
it's a
it's going to
little,
be the ride of your life. Like you have to make
yes.
sure that you're going to Disney the park so you can do like my favorite ride there is uh why would I do this? Indiana Jones. So fun, but it's not in
Ooh,
another park. You have to go there specifically. We have to come to Catherine for this type of ride, and it's so
exactly.
fun. It's so fun. Okay,
Oh,
so
thank you.
no, Nova has survived something incredibly traumatic. What is the
Yep.
biggest challenge in writing her healing journey? Um, in a way that feels authentic and really like honoring victims too, because that's kind of got to be a touchy subject.
It is. And I think the thing that I've realized over the years, um, in writing, tender topics
Mm.
is that everybody handles trauma differently. And everybody's going to have a different coping mechanism. Everyone's going to deal with it in different ways. I'm really lucky to have a licensed and clinical social worker who, treats patients, who reads all my books. So she's kind of helping me from that perspective, which is really helpful just to make sure that like I am, thinking about all the different
Hmm.
angles. I am super interested in psychology. I actually
Hmm.
did a year of graduate study in psychology, thinking I
Wow.
might go into that. And I bring a lot of that to kind of thinking about my characters. But when it came to Nova, the thing that I really felt after I finished book one was that I didn't want her to come across as fearful. Not to say that
Mm.
she doesn't have fear, she absolutely does. There are things that she's scared of, but I wanted her to really step into kind of like confronting that. And so I
Mhm.
had a few different conversations with different friends trying to figure out how I was going to approach her character. And I have a good friend who was saying, what if it was kind of the opposite? Like, what if she's like looking for like new highs and, all of that stuff? And it just scenes started popping into my head of
Mm.
her, jumping off the cliffs, going mountain biking, doing all these things where she's like trying to remind herself that she is still alive. She is still here. She's
She's
still
breathing.
existing. She's breathing. I know.
Yeah, and that's really interesting because you wouldn't think about that, right? Like you almost, have to remember that you are breathing. Like it's been such an extreme thing that you have to kind of find another extreme to just kind of like
Yep,
find some balance in the process. So I really love that.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like she had to go to the other extreme.
Hmm.
And then she had to find her balance, which she does over the course of the book. And I think it's been really fun too to like explore her friendship with Bray. Like I really loved kind of painting in those colors. That was really
Hmm.
fun for me too. I have so many wonderful female friends in my life and I'm so lucky in that way. And I really wanted to, have some books that were talking about that too.
And you can't help but feel for Nova because you can't help but put yourself in that situation because I have close friends like that too, and it's like, they would be there and be overprotective, but you know that you would need that space. So I thought that was done so perfectly.
Oh, thank
So
you.
great
I
job.
worked really hard on that because it was a delicate balance. Like, I know if one of my friends went missing, I would be so overprotective of them when I got them back. I would want to like just be watching them sleep, probably. That would be my reaction. But that's not what's best for Nova,
And
And
I
so
think,
trying, go
go ahead.
ahead.
Sorry. Sorry. I was just gonna.
No, just like I was just saying, like, it's it's hard to find that balance, and that is life. Like we have to communicate with the people who are in our lives, our partners, our friends, our family, to figure out what's best for all of us.
Mhm. And Cole really feels like home. That's what was so great about that too. It's like he really felt like home. And even though like Bray had been there, especially through everything before, really it's very relatable. It's because I would rather be here than there, even though it makes more sense for me to be there. And this is where I'm healing. So I love that. I loved Cole. I thought he was so
Yeah, it's like she needed she needed a place where she could start stretching her legs, and he just saw that. And I think that's probably my favorite thing about him as a hero. As much as I love a grumpy single dad, those are also great traits, but like I really love that he was so encouraging of her to stretch her wings,
yeah.
and while being protective, yes, like and having moments where he has to battle against himself, which is my favorite thing in books when like the characters have to confront these things in themselves
Hmm.
because they know it's what's best for the other person or themselves or some
Hmm.
combination of the two. But he is not trying to stifle her. He's trying to encourage her to, come
Yeah.
back to life, basically.
They were also alone, the brothers. You know what I mean? They had each other, but they really had to figure this out
Yeah.
themselves. And I think that's kind of the vibe and the tone for the series. So I'm really excited, which is why I told you, Wilder is like my guy, and I didn't expect to fall for like Wilder, especially I come from an alcohol-free girly. I just hit 13 years
Mhm.
sober from alcohol. I was still like working around it, it was like a very, very crazy thing. Um, and I that's not even the one I just adore him, and I'm really excited to see how kind of he handles it. There's a lot of stuff in the book, that every brother had to deal with what had happened in a
Mhm.
different way, and there was a different they had came into the situation differently too, which is really crazy. So I'm really excited to continue series. What other questions I have about the boys? I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're just on, but
No. Take as long as you want. I will say, like,
yeah.
I think the kernel of this series, like, five brothers who are the sons of a prolific serial killer. The thing that was exciting to me to write about was like how that trauma was going to manifest so differently in each of them. And, obviously they had a different relationship with their dad. They had a
Hmm.
different relationship to what happened when it was found out who he
Hmm.
was, all of that stuff. And I think that just, it's such an interesting experiment, to
It
have
really
each of
is. It's
them.
like finding out where Cole was and he was out with someone else.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's
Uh-huh.
so, so interesting. Maverick, what was actually happening, where was he? We'll have to wait and see. So
Hmm.
excited. I was just thinking when you were talking about this, we didn't even go into it. You guys just have to read it. If you're intrigued, you have to pick up this series. It is so good. It's just like a little bit of everything. I'm such a moody reader. I get in these weird slumps, and this is the perfect thing to, I feel like, just get you out of it. So,
Thank you.
congratulations on the series. I have one personal question, and it's
Yes.
just really, do you have like when you finish a book or a series, do you have like a ritual or something you like to go do after? Like, are we going to Olive Garden? Like, what
I
are
do
we?
love Olive
I
Garden.
do too.
Um,
What do we celebrate? How do we celebrate?
I I am horrible with marking like ends of
Same.
books,
Me too,
things
though.
happening. Like
We
I
just
am
keep
just
going.
I know I'm just like, what's the next thing? What am I working on
Yes.
next? So I don't have a ton of that. I feel like the end of Sparrow Falls was really special because the last book in that series was at the time my favorite book that I had ever written. It was kind of um there were some challenges going into that release where I really had to bet on myself.
Mm.
And I don't think anybody necessarily thought it was going to hit New York Times, but my readers loved those two characters, and I knew they loved those two
I
characters.
love
And it
that.
was just kind of one of those things where I was like, I'm going to bet on myself. And the reader showed up in such a beautiful way. And having
Mhm.
that be the first book that ever hit New York Times was like
Wow.
such a special experience. I will never forget. Megan Galt, who
Hmm.
owns Novel Grounds, who is so wonderful.
Love
She
Megan.
sent me a text message and she was like, you hit New York Times. And I would not believe her. I was like, I think you're wrong because I hadn't gotten a call from my publisher. I was like, she like sent me the screenshot because she owns a bookstore, so she gets the list early. And then as she's sending it, my marketer and my editor from Bloom call, and as soon as I saw her name, I just like
Oh,
burst
you
into
give
tears.
me chills.
I literally slid down my wall in my living room to like sit on the floor, and I just was like sitting. They're like, "You did it!" And I was like, just cry. I was like, "I'm ugly crying. I'm not even cute crying." So I think like memories like that are just that is all the celebration I need. Like
Yeah,
that is
especially
just
being
such
your
a
favorite series. It's like something and that's how it has to go. Like, you know what I mean? You
yeah,
you're a writer. It's like you can't make this kind of thing up. It has to be,
yeah.
you've been writing for what, almost 10 years now, and
Mhm.
going back on your
Crazy.
backlist. And that was one of the questions that Tina was telling me. She was like, is there some like if someone could get one of your backlists, like what would that be? Um
Ooh, I love that
Yeah, if
question.
someone's picking up a completed series for the first
A
time, right? Like say
completed
we're
series,
finding
yeah.
somebody who wants to, like what would that be and why? I'm trying
I
to think
would
what Tina said.
say
Oh, I know what Tina said.
I would say Sparrow Falls or Tattered and Torn.
That was
Those
Tina's.
both those both feel like really special series. It kind of depends like
Mhm.
what you're looking for, I would say. Tattered and Torn is a little more like family saga to me.
Mm.
Like but reminiscent of Starlight Grove in that there's like a family trauma that they're kind of trying to get
Mhm.
over. And then Sparrow Falls just feels like a warm hug to me. Like it just feels fun and like yes, there's suspense and some heavy topics for sure, but like it does kind of feel like the covers to me a little bit, you
Yeah,
know?
that's exactly what I was gonna say with the covers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, yay. Thank you so much for your time. You are so sweet. This was all over
Oh,
a
thank
voice
you for
memo,
doing
guys.
this.
She
This is
didn't even bat,
amazing.
and we just could not adore you more over here, Catherine. And
It is so
congratulations
mutual.
on
Thank you. I
everything.
adore you.
Have the best weekend. Enjoy, relax. The book is going great.
Thank
Everyone's
you.
getting it. It's not done yet, and we just can't wait. When does book three come out?
It comes out in November,
Okay.
November 17th, I believe.
And this is Mav's book.
This is Mav's book. So I've got a lot of people who are excited about him. It's funny. A
Yeah.
lot of times when I write like a funnier, lighthearted hero, I don't see as much excitement. So I was really surprised by how excited people were for him. And I think it's because they sense that like he's masking his trauma with humor, which is very much accurate.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be a really fun roller coaster
And
ride.
surprisingly, the trope, which I just had guessed at the end, because I'm no
Yeah,
super VIP. I'm a little VIP,
I
but not
love it.
super VIP.
I
But I
love
was
it.
like, this, I don't know if this is going to be a spoiler at all, but I can always mute this if it is. But I was
Yeah,
like, this is clearly like has to be a marriage of convenience because I
I
feel like
love
I
it.
know Mav. And it's
This
one of
will
my
be
new.
confirmed next week. I feel very certain.
Well, good. You heard it here, folks, first. But like, and it's one of my new favorite tropes.
It's
It's
so fun.
so
It
interesting
is
that I like love
so
that.
fun.
So I'm really excited about Mav. And I wanted to say too, Audibles, guys, so good. If you're an Audible girly,
Thank
this
you.
Audible collection is so good. And they're following
That's
it
so
throughout the
much
entire
fun.
series. And I think that's why Mav's so good too. This guy, it's like his first round. Like he's so
He's
good.
newer and he is so talented. He
So
is
talented.
unbelievable. And I have loved his voice so much and I hope I get to continue to work with him because
Yeah,
he's
he is
fantastic.
top notch, like so good.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really looking forward to it. Okay. Italian goodbye. I adore you. Thank you so much again for all your time. Relax. You are the best, and I love you.